But you did mention this sense that you're falling behind.
Yeah.
And so many people today in particular are feeling like they're falling behind. I mean, we have a 26-year-old and a 24-year-old, and they are already feeling as though, okay, I'm not making enough money. And how am I ever going to buy a house? And how am I going to pay for a life? If the person listening has that sense that they're falling behind, particularly if you're older, and you say it's too late, like I've already blown it, Morgan, what do you want them to hear right now?
I think there's a couple of things. One is empathy, because there are areas in life where particularly a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s are falling behind relative to previous generations, particularly something like home ownership, where it was more attainable in previous generations than has been, particularly in the last couple of years. So empathy, this is not me saying, oh, you should just feel better, you should just be more grateful for what you have. You actually are doing fine. There is some empathy that has to be involved here.
And also for people that thought they were going to be able to retire at a certain age, and then the cost of living has gone up so much, or medical bills are at a certain state that you're realizing, oh my God, I don't have enough money to be able to retire. And so it is important to basically go, these are very real feelings that people have right now. And so if we start with empathy, where do we go next, Morgan?
Well, I think you start with empathy because if somebody feels like they're falling behind, that's their truth. But I think it's important to realize too that all happiness is just the gap between expectations and reality.
All right, say that again. All happiness
is the gap between expectations and reality. You have the life you're living, you have the life you expect to live. In between there is where you can find some level of happiness. And the wider that gap is, the more miserable you're going to feel.
Okay, so let's talk about somebody who is in a situation where they thought they would be further along with their savings, and they're starting to panic because they're worried that their money's going to run out before they die, or they're not going to be able to retire. How do you use that happiness definition right now if that's the reality?
This is not true for everybody. This is not black and white, but there are a lot of these cases, I would say the majority of these cases, where the reason that person has not been able to save as much as they thought is because their expectations for many years probably have been spiraling out of control. And they were spending more money than they should have been because they were trying to chase who they wanted to be, even if it wasn't necessarily the level of lifestyle that they could afford. And so they were renting an apartment that was very nice because they had an expectation that that's where they should be, and they were comparing themselves to other people, even if it was kind of out of their budget. They were traveling and dressing and eating out in a way because that's who they felt that they should be, even if they couldn't necessarily afford it.
Morgan, you're calling us out here, Morgan.
I'm calling everybody out.
Yes.
I've been in this situation too. There's no shame in it. This is a very common thing that I think everyone will experience.